Look, we've all heard that if you want to make the big bucks, you need to invent the next flying car or some crazy AI app. But Jewish wisdom says something different. Look for what humans will always need no matter what. In the Talmud, it's taught that the world stands on three pillars: Torah, service, and acts of kindness. But there's a very realistic footnote there. To study or to help others, you've got to eat first. The ancient sages understood that food isn't a luxury, it's the base of the entire pyramid. If you control the flow of the basics, rice, oil, flour, beans, you have a business that doesn't care about the stock market. In a booming economy, people eat. In a recession, people eat even more of the basics at home. It's an indestructible demand because it's hardwired into our survival. Historically, Jewish merchants dominated the spice and grain trades, not by luck, but because they knew the stomach doesn't know what a recession is. Most people think entering the food business means opening a massive Whole Foods or a fancy restaurant. Forget that. The Jewish secret is to start small and scale with discipline. You can start with $200 or $300. How? You go to a local wholesale club or a warehouse and buy what everyone buys every single week: non-perishables. Rice, beans, sugar, salt, cooking oil. Things that won't go bad tomorrow. The modern secret sauce here is convenience. Use WhatsApp, use local Facebook groups, use Nextdoor. Offer a pantry starter pack delivered right to your neighbor's door. If you sell $100 a day with a small margin, you're already making a profit that many 9-to-5 jobs can't touch. You don't need a fancy storefront. You just need to be the person who solves dinner for your neighbor in a reliable way. But hold on, it's not just about buying low and selling high. The number one mistake rookies make is buying perishables without having a locked-in customer base. Don't start with strawberries, start with rice. The second fatal mistake is trying to get into a price war with Walmart or Costco. You won't win on price, you win on service, convenience, and being the guy who delivers when they don't want to drive. The third mistake? Inconsistency. If a neighbor asks for a bag of flour and you're out of stock, they're going to the store next time and they aren't coming back. Spiritually, Proverbs 28:19 says, "He who works his land will have abundant food." When you dedicate yourself to feeding others, the universe makes sure you never go hungry. It's a law of reciprocity. Serve the most basic need of humanity, and prosperity becomes your shadow. By the way, if you're finding this ancestral wisdom helpful for your financial journey, make sure to follow the channel so you don't miss any of these secrets. Let's have some real talk. You can decide not to buy that new iPhone this year. You can decide your car can go another 10,000 miles before an upgrade. You can even cancel that vacation. But what happens when your tooth starts throbbing at 3 a.m. or when a family member needs specialized care? Suddenly, money isn't an item on a budget. It's a solution for a crisis. Jewish wisdom is very clear. Health is a priority that sits above almost everything else. There's a beautiful phrase in the Talmud: "Whoever saves one life saves the entire world." This isn't just a nice thought, it's a market reality. Healthcare services are infallible because the demand is urgent. You aren't selling a want, you're answering a vital need. This is why Jewish communities have historically invested so heavily in medicine and pharmacy. There is no off-season for taking care of the human body. Usually when people hear healthcare business, they think they need to go to med school for 10 years. Not true. Healthcare is a massive ecosystem. If you're a pro, great, open a boutique clinic. But if you don't have a medical degree, look at complementary services. Think about senior care, a market that is exploding in America right now. Think about wellness, therapeutic massage, basic nutrition coaching, or even mental health support and companion services for the lonely. Today, mental wellness is a sector where you can start with a short, serious certification and start helping people immediately. You can go to their homes or work out of a small, clean space. The investment isn't in heavy machinery, it's in your ability to relieve someone's suffering. If you can make someone feel better, you have a goldmine in your hands. This is where we have to be very careful because you don't play games with health. Mistake number 1, trying to operate without the proper local licenses or insurance. In the US, that's a one-way ticket to a lawsuit that will wipe you out. Mistake number 2, promising miracles. Never, ever promise a magic cure. Jewish business ethics are built on total honesty. If you promise something you can't deliver, your reputation will die faster than you can blink. Mistake number 3, poor hygiene. Whether you're selling a supplement, giving a massage, or helping a senior, your environment must be spotless. One hygiene slip-up and you're done. In the health business, trust is your only currency. If you break it, the business is over. I want to hear from you guys. If you had to invest today, would you put your money into physical health services or mental health support? Which one do you think is the bigger need in your city right now? Let me know in the comments below. If there's one thing Jewish culture has taught for millennia, it's that you can lose your money, your house, and your clothes, but no one can take what's inside your head. This mindset creates one of the most powerful markets on earth. The Talmud says, "A father who does not teach his son a trade teaches him to steal." For a family following these principles, education isn't an extra, it's a sacred obligation. During a recession, parents stop eating out. They stop buying designer shoes, but they do not stop paying for their kids' tutor or that skill-building course. They know that knowledge is the only ladder out of a hole. This is why education has guaranteed demand forever. Whether it's SAT prep, learning a new language, or a professional trade, people will always pay to be smarter. Remember Carolina from the beginning. Her story is the perfect blueprint for business number 3. She was in a tough spot, working as a secretary for peanuts. She had a degree in teaching, but no vehicle to use it. She didn't wait to get a fancy building. She cleared her dining room table and called 3 neighbors whose kids were struggling with math. She offered something the big schools didn't, a guaranteed result. She didn't sell lessons, she sold better grades. She started with 3 kids. Within 2 months, the word of mouth, the most powerful marketing tool in Jewish wisdom, took over. She went from 3 students to 120 in 5 years. She didn't need high-tech apps, she just needed a clear method and a small space. You have a skill someone would pay to learn? Is it coding, piano, speaking Spanish? A lot of people try to get into education and quit in 6 months. Why? Mistake 1, accepting any student. If you take on students who don't want to learn or parents who don't value your time, you'll burn out. Only work with people who want results. Mistake 2, no structured curriculum. If every lesson is a surprise, the student feels like they aren't getting anywhere and they'll quit. You need to show them the path. Today we are here, in 3 months we'll be there. And mistake 3, charging too little. When you're the cheap option, you attract people who don't respect you. Jewish wisdom values the teacher. If your service changes a child's life, charge a fair price that allows you to grow and eventually hire other tutors, just like Carolina did. Let me ask you this. If you could master one new skill this month to change your financial future, what would it be? Type it in the comments. Maybe someone who's already an expert in that area is reading right now and can give you a tip. You want to know the only certainty in the physical world. Stuff breaks, cars fail, phone screens crack, refrigerators stop cooling, and roofs leak. It's the law of entropy. And this is where one of the greatest opportunities in Jewish wisdom lies. While most people are focused on selling new stuff, the wise person looks at what already exists and needs to stay running. In a bad economy, nobody wants to drop $2,000 on a new fridge, but everyone has $150 to fix the one they have. This business is counter-cyclical. It actually grows when the rest of the economy shrinks. When things go south, your phone won't stop ringing because repairing is 5 to 10 times cheaper than buying new. Demand never takes a vacation here. In Jewish tradition, there's a concept called Bal Tashchit, which basically means do not destroy or do not waste. Ancient wisdom says that throwing away something that could still be useful is a mistake. When you start a maintenance or repair business, you aren't just making money. You're serving a higher ethical purpose of preservation. The Talmud values those who bring new life to a broken object. This builds an incredibly strong bond of trust with your customer. Unlike a salesman who's trying to push a new product on you, a repair tech is seen as a hero who saves resources. That seal of integrity makes this sector both respected and highly profitable. You don't need a massive auto body shop to start. Today, YouTube University teaches you how to fix almost anything for free. You can start with a basic $200 toolkit in your own garage or by being a mobile repairman going to the customer. The secret is to pick a niche. iPhones, appliances, or handyman home repairs. Start with simple flyers and Facebook groups, but watch out for the big mistakes. First, not charging for the diagnostic. Your time and your brain are worth money. If you drive to someone's house and find the problem, you've already worked. Second, no warranty. In the repair business, your word is your bond. If the fix didn't stick, go back and fix it for free. And third, promising deadlines you can't hit just to get the job. It's better to say it'll be 3 days and deliver in 2 than to promise it tomorrow and leave the customer hanging. Think about this. What was the last thing in your house that broke and you chose to fix instead of buying new? Was it a phone, an appliance, or something in your car? Let me know in the comments if it was worth it. If there's a business that existed when humans were barefoot, when we used camels, and that will exist if we ever invent teleportation, it's logistics. Why is it infallible? Because of physics. Things and people are at point A, but they need to be at point B. Simple. Jewish wisdom dominated the ancient trade routes not because they had the fastest camels, but because they understood that connecting producers to consumers is how you capture value. Today, the tech has changed. We have apps, drones, and planes, but the need to move mass through space is a law of nature. As long as there is distance between where you are and where you want to be, this business is a goldmine. The Jewish secret to prosperity has always been to intermediate the flow. You don't have to own the shoe factory, you just have to own the truck that delivers the shoes. The best part about logistics is that you probably have the asset you need in your driveway right now. If you have a car, a motorcycle, or even a bike, you're already a logistics company waiting to happen. The mistake people make is thinking logistics is just driving for Uber. That's just the tip of the iceberg. True wisdom is finding niches where the big companies don't care to go. Think about school transport for the neighborhood, small apartment moves where big companies charge a fortune, or exclusive delivery for local restaurants that don't want to pay 30% fees to DoorDash. You can offer rush document delivery for law offices or scheduled airport runs. The secret is building a direct client base. Technology gets you started, but the real profit comes when the client calls you because they trust you. A lot of people get into transport and go broke because of 3 classic mistakes. First, not knowing your real cost. Some people think profit is what's left after paying for gas. Wrong. What about the oil change, the tires, the car's depreciation? If you don't track that, you're actually paying to work. Second, lack of specialization. If you try to carry everything for everyone, you aren't good at anything. Pick a niche. Be the furniture move guy or the medical courier guy. Third, and most fatal, depending 100% on third-party apps. Use the apps to get your first customers, but your goal must be to turn them into direct contacts. Remember, in Jewish wisdom, financial independence comes from owning the flow, not from being a slave to someone else's algorithm. I want to know, if you started a logistics side hustle today, would you rather transport people or packages? Which one do you think is less of a headache and more profit? Let's debate it in the comments. Let's wrap this up with the big guns. The 6th infallible business is housing and real estate. Why? Because every human needs a roof. It's the base of survival. The Talmud says, "He who has no home has no peace." This creates a perpetual demand. People can live without luxuries, but they can't live without protection from the elements. Historically, Jewish families prioritized real estate because it generates passive income, rent, appreciates over time, and resists inflation. And the seventh business is financial services. Money must circulate for the economy to work. Whether it's tax prep, basic bookkeeping, or currency exchange, the person who facilitates the movement of money always keeps a piece of it. It's not about being greedy, it's about being the essential facilitator for commerce to happen. From the ancient markets to today's digital world, the job is the same: keeping the value organized. You're probably thinking, "Solomon, how do I get into real estate or finance without $1 million?" That's where practical wisdom comes in. In real estate, you don't need to buy the building to start. You can offer property management. Many owners don't want to deal with tenants or midnight repair calls. You charge a percentage to handle it all. With 10 houses under your care, you have a solid income without owning a single brick. In finance, if you're good with numbers or organization, you can offer bookkeeping to small business owners who are drowning in paperwork. There are free or very cheap online certifications that can get you started. Your investment here is your study time and your integrity, not your cash. Start small, solve one person's problem, and let their success fund your growth. Now, listen closely because this is the most important part of the entire video. Knowing these 7 businesses won't change your bank account. Execution will. The Jewish secret is simple: indestructible sector plus. Excellent execution. Inevitable prosperity. To pick your path, use 3 rules. 1. What do you already know? 2. How much cash do you have today? Remember, education and finance need almost 0. 3. Can you do this for the next 10 years? Remember Carolina, she started on her dining room table with 3 kids and now runs a massive education center. She didn't invent the wheel. She picked a sector that never dies and worked it with excellence. Your first step is to pick one of these 7 businesses today, see what your neighborhood needs, and get your first client this week. A rough start today is 1,000 times better than a perfect plan that never leaves your head. We have reached the moment of decision. You now have the map of the 7 sectors that have enriched generations: basic food, health, education, repair, logistics, housing, and finance. The question isn't whether these businesses work. They've been the backbone of wealth for 5,000 years. The real question is, are you going to be the one to build yours? Since we are just starting this journey together here at Solomon's Treasury, I want to invite you to be part of our foundation. First, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. By joining us now, you are part of the original group of Treasury seekers. We're going to be sharing deep, ancestral secrets every week that you won't find anywhere else on YouTube. Second, smash that like button. It tells the algorithm that this wisdom is valuable and helps us reach more people who are tired of the get-rich-quick scams and want real, proven paths. Third, I want a commitment from you. Write in the comments, "Starting my business based on eternity," and tell me which of the 7 you're choosing. I'll be reading and replying to as many as I can to give you that extra push. Finally, share this video. There's someone in your life right now who has the talent but is stuck in a dead-end job. This video could be the spark that changes their family legacy forever. May the Eternal bless the work of your hands and give you the clarity to choose the right path. Start small, stay excellent, and watch how doors begin to open. Shalom, and I'll see you in our next deep dive into the Treasury.